got a health question, don't guess yourself. Tune in now for Senior Health.
Doctors you trust, clear and trust.
Expert advice just for you.
Yes, senior questions for your health. I'm Rhett Palmer, and there's a breakthrough in vision that you have to hear to believe. What if cataract surgery didn't just restore your sight, but actually you fine-tune it after the procedure? I have Dr. Mallon. We have been friends for 25 plus years, and he is the head doctor of a big firm called Center for Advanced Eyecare. You used to be the only doctor. Now you got all these other doctors working for you. You've had a lot of success. You've taken care of my family members, the ones that are living and some that are gone. And I thank you. It's great to see your face, always.
Yeah, nice to see you as well.
Yeah, I love you, man. I love you. And what this is just really, you told me to do my homework, so I did.
Good.
And I mean, thank God for what's it called? AI. It's just amazing because
It is.
this is like I didn't realize what this was. Now these are adjustable lenses. So, doctor, for someone listening right now who's been told they have cataracts, what exactly is a cataract? What's happening to their eye?
So a cataract is something that all of us will eventually have. And typically I tell patients over the age of 45 or 50, we all have the start of cataracts. A cataract is just a clouding of your natural lens. So it's unavoidable. It's going to happen at a different pace for everyone. It's like wrinkles and gray hair. We're all going to get that, and it's part of the aging process. So eventually, as the cataract and the natural lens in your eye changes, it becomes less clear. And that opaqueness or that less clarity causes problems with vision. So you start to have a slow and many times not noticeable degradation in your vision. Maybe it's just, I don't like driving at night so much anymore. Then you need more light to read. And a lot of my patients can't see their golf ball anymore. They hit it and they lose it, or they can't follow someone else's golf ball. So those are typical things that patients will complain about. Some people come and say, well, I don't think I have cataracts because I don't have glare at night. I said, well, not everybody has glare at night, but it may be difficult for you to drive down a dark road because you just don't see as
I have a
well.
hard time with the medians now.
Well,
you're making a left-hand turn at a big intersection. They don't have it lit up at night. And I go, where's, I don't want to hit the median. And
So you
ruin
lose
my tire.
contrast. If I were to take my
Yes.
patients who have cataracts and I said, take a navy sock and a black sock in poor lighting, they can't tell the difference.
No.
And so you start to see subtle changes. And then, walking outdoors, well, you can't see subtle slopes and things because that loss of contrast. And that's where the night driving becomes the real issue. It's like putting on sunglasses and driving at night. You'd never do that, but that's what a cataract does, essentially, limits the amount of light.
Have you ever
in the
had
eye.
somebody a patient come in who literally were older and had let it go so long that they were somewhat blinded by it?
What's the number one cause of blindness in the world? Literally blindness. So yes, I do.
But they can be restored, right? If
Sure.
they take-
Well, it's curative. I mean, cataract surgery cures the
That's crazy.
loss of vision. So it is still the number one cause of vision loss in the whole world, which is sad. When we look at a surgery that we can do, and I can do cataract surgery. It's 5, 6, 7 minute operation, and you can restore someone's life, and now obviously improve. And I've been doing this now 30 years, and I'm just amazed at the transformation. My first cataract surgeries used to take an hour. We used to make a big incision, couldn't bend over, don't do this, don't do that. You had sutures in the eye. We really didn't talk a lot about refractive outcomes, like not wearing glasses wasn't even a discussion. It was just, we're going to get you to see better, and you're going to get your glasses in a couple months. And, you'll probably have a lot of astigmatism. We'll be cutting sutures in your eye to get those out after, because you had to make big incisions. And probably one of the biggest changes in ophthalmology was coming up with foldable lenses. So you could make a smaller incision to stick the lens inside the eye, and then you unfolded the lens in the eye. So that was a huge step in improving. And then there was topical anesthesia, where we no longer had to sedate patients for surgery or do a big needle behind their eye to numb their eye. So we do cataract
do you
surgery
do it
now
now?
with just
Just
eye
drops?
drops. Put an eye drop on the
Really?
surface of the eye, and I can do the cataract surgery with them wide awake. And I haven't sedated a patient routinely since 1997. So I haven't put an IV in a patient's arm routinely since 1997 to do cataract surgery. There's still a lot of patients are getting sedated. I have patients come to me who are going up in the Northeast for half the year, and they come down here and say, I think I'm going to put it off. I really don't want to give up golf for 3 weeks. And I said, what are you talking about, giving up golf for 3 weeks? You can play golf and tennis the next day. Golf, tennis, pickleball the next day. Physical activities immediately. I had one of the doctors in town. I did his cataract surgery, and he works out at the same gym and I do. And that night he was there lifting weights with me. So I've had people leave my office literally from the surgery and go to work. So it's not your grandparents' cataract surgery anymore. We don't put a patch on the eye. I haven't patched an eye again, almost 28 years, 29 years. So patients are able to see immediately after surgery, return to normal activities immediately.
Is there any age? Is there any time? I'm 72. I have yet to have cataract surgery. Is there going to come a time where I'm too old for it?
No. My oldest patient, interestingly enough, was 102.
Come on
I did
now.
his first eye when he was 98. He was a farmer from Okeechobee. He had terrible cataract. I mean, he came in at 98 years old, and he said, I can't see. He couldn't hear very well either, but I took out his cataract. He had very dense cataract, and it's great. I didn't
What
see
was
him.
his reaction?
He was amazed, and I didn't see him again for 4 years, so I had no idea. And he comes back at 102, and he says, "You got to do my other eye." It really bothered me. So no, there's no age you can't have cataract surgery. A lot of patients. I mean, again, because I don't sedate, and I haven't for a long time, patients who are sedated during surgery, a lot of times they don't pass the physical. They've got lung disease, heart disease. They can't. No, this patient's not good enough. They can't give them anesthesia, and they'll come to me and I say, "Well, you don't need anesthesia. We're going to do eye drops on your eye, and you're going to lay down for 5 minutes, and we're going to do your surgery, and you can get up and walk out of here." It's miraculous.
What is the average age?
Today I just did cataract surgery. I think my youngest patient was probably in their 50s. My oldest was probably 90.
Really?
So it's all across the spectrum.
Wow.
I've got patients in their 50s who have terrible cataracts. I've got patients in their 90s who don't need cataract surgery. And the reality is, I don't tell anybody when they need surgery. They always tell me.
Okay.
And patients will ask me all the time, "Doc, you're going to tell me when I need cataract surgery?" And I said, I never told anybody in my entire career when to have cataract surgery. They always tell me when they're ready.
Is that why you haven't done mine yet? You're waiting for me to come and say, "You got to do it."
You'll tell me. My mom said the same thing to me. I did her cataract surgery probably about 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, you're going to tell me when I need my surgery." And I said, "Mom, I don't tell anybody, including you, when you need surgery. You'll know when you need it because you're not going to like driving at night. You're not going to see your golf ball. You're going to struggle with reading. Whatever it's going to be, you're going to have something that you're going to notice that is bothering you. And when it starts to affect your lifestyle, that's the time to do it."
Okay, now we're even a mega step. Now you have adjustable lenses. Now this is crazy. The adjustable lens, you can adjust it after it's inside the eye.
Yeah.
And is it true that patients can test drive their vision and fine tune it? Come on, you got to. What is this?
It's science fiction. Really,
It is
it's science fiction, and
It's crazy.
It is the greatest thing I have ever seen in medicine.
Can you explain it to a simpleton like me
Yeah.
how it works?
So, we have what we call traditional monofocal or single focus lenses. They're just your basic lens.
Yeah.
And that's been around that's the first lenses. And then they started creating multifocal lenses like bifocals, which are only good for a small segment of patients, but again, miraculous in their own right. Then they came up with toric lenses, which were lenses that had astigmatism built into them, which is incredible. And that came out in 2006. When that came out, I was like, this is unbelievable. We could fix eyes now that we couldn't fix in the past. But the biggest problem with cataract surgery was the lens is a guesstimation. We do all kinds of data, we do all kinds of measurements, but at the end of the day, what lens you put in the eye, we have a computer program and we track our data like crazy. And that's why this is such a groundbreaking situation, because no matter how accurate you are, you're never perfect. And so you can't always promise them. And so, "Doc, all I want to do is see my golf ball at 300 yards. I'm like, that's the hardest thing that we could do. It's really difficult to be perfect. So the lenses come in increments of, a quarter, a half. So if you needed let's just say an example, you needed a 20.36 lens to be perfect. Well, they don't come in 20.36. Maybe they don't come in 20 and 21. So what lens are you picking? There's a lot of variables that are way beyond the discussion of right now. But there's so many variables. I tell people all the time, if I was a meteorologist telling you where the hurricane was going to hit,
Yeah.
if I said it's going to hit Vero Beach, well, it may hit the Treasure Coast, but we all know, there's a cone of uncertainty. There's a cone of uncertainty around picking a lens. So if you said, "Hey, I want to see great in the distance," I said, "Wonderful. We're going to aim for that." But what may happen is you may not be perfect in the distance. Maybe
But
you're
in the
off a little
past,
bit.
I'd be stuck with that lens.
You'd be stuck with it, or we would be doing LASIK or PRK or a piggyback lens or an exchange of the lens. So there would be other things we could do, but they were pretty big deals. Now we put the lens in your eye, and I tell them it's like a piece of clay. We can mold the lens.
Come on, now how?
So the lens is adjusted, and the
How?
polymers, so it's a polymer that's
that
not
mean?
completely, the lenses have molecules in them that are still active. You can mold them. and they're molded with UV
Messing
light.
with molecules.
So you take UV light and you shine it on the lens, and we've got this laser that we put patients in front of. You put a contact lens in the eye. They literally look at this UV light anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and the lens changes shape inside the eye. So we can literally give them perfect vision. This
is crazy.
I've never
So I
been
have
able
no-
to promise patients, this. So we'll say, and I'll tell patients, look, if you don't mind wearing glasses or contact lenses, there is no reason for you to do this lens. Just it's expensive, it's time consuming. There's a lot of infrastructure and time that's spent. So I may have patients come in 3 or 4 or 5 times. We can adjust the lens up to 3 different times. So we spend a lot of time adjusting. Now, typically what we do is they want one eye to be great in the distance, okay? That's the hardest thing to do, is give you perfect distance vision, but we're giving patients vision that's better than 20/20 most of the time. Whatever they are physiologically capable of seeing, they will see. And then what we usually do is try to create a level of glasses independence. Typically, we'll take the other eye, their non-dominant eye, and we'll weaken it a little bit. Now, almost everybody can tolerate a little bit of offset. So if I give you the dashboard and you can hold your phone out and see it, you can look at your face in the mirror when you're shaving, and maybe you have to pick up reading glasses to see something really small.
No, I can't even shave right anymore.
I know.
Now, remember, this is a senior show now, and I go like,
Yeah.
oh my, remember old guys used to have this down here. You go, why are
Can't
they
see
missing
it.
those hairs? And now it's like, I got to get out the magnifying glass. Did I shave well?
Well, so this is the uniqueness of it. So I say to patients all the time,
Amazing.
go test drive it. Go live your life with so we'll correct them a certain place, right? We start out, you can't adjust the lens for 2.5 weeks. So you do the surgery and then you just wait 2.5 weeks. Then you start adjusting. Typically we'll get, 1 or 2, you can do up to 3 adjustments. But once we do the first adjustment, I'll say, live with this for a little while. Come back and give me feedback. Where are the weak spots in your vision that you'd like to fix? And then we sort of see if we can fix those.
Crazy.
So what we do is there's always going to be a little weak spot in your vision, but if we can hide that weak spot over here where you don't notice it, most of the time my patients are getting exceptional distance vision and really good functional intermediate day-to-day walking around vision.
So
So
I
they
went
may
to a
pick up
ball game
glasses.
last night. I can't see the scoreboard hardly.
Well, that's likely cataract that's starting to affect your quality of vision. But this has really changed everything for me. I can now promise people things that I would never have promised them in the past. And it's amazing. It truly is. And it's, a good portion of our patients, like I said, I tell people all the time, they say, well, why, should I do this or not? I said, look, number one, if you don't care if you wear glasses or contacts, there's no reason to do it. If your goal is to have the best vision you can have without glasses, and you really want great distance vision, then that's a great way to do it. I use golf analogies all the time because, and if you had a 1-foot putt, right? You got on the green, you got to put this far away. It's really easy,
he's
right?
Obsessed with putting. He owns a putter company. He owns another device for great putting that's internationally sold. You and golf.
What can I tell you?
What can you tell? Go ahead.
But if you had a 1-foot putt,
You're a
it's
heck of a good
really
golfer,
easy.
too.
It's really easy to make a 1-foot putt. You can miss it pretty bad and it still go in the hole, right?
Yeah.
But if you had a 50-foot putt, it has to be perfect. Distance vision is a 50-foot putt. I can do a traditional lens, and I've got a lot of patients walking around for the last 30 years that see great without glasses with traditional lenses, didn't cost them anything. But that's a small percentage because you can't exceed, again, a 50-foot putt. I may knock a few of them in, but most of the time, you're not going to make it. And that's what distance vision is. It's really hard. And also, again, if someone says, I had an artist, it was great. She said, she's done monovision. She did 1 distance, 1 reading. She had done that with contact lenses for years. I'll tell you another situation where it really is great. But so she said, you know what? I want great distance vision, and I do my artwork right here. Not here, not here, specifically this spot. I want my vision right there. Guess what? We put her vision right there. And we could adjust it till we got it exactly where she wanted it. The other
old is
great,
she?
She's in her 70s.
So you restored her vision, and as an
And
artist.
made it, I've got patients telling me they've never seen this well in their entire life.
How about colors?
Well, colors are restored after, everybody after cataract surgery says, oh, I'm an artist, I see colors great. I said, no, you don't. I said, just wait. After we do their first eye, they come back and say, oh my God, I had no idea. I said, don't make any color selections before your cataract surgery because your car may not look like the color that you thought it was. The other great place for this, and there's a lot of patients now who've had LASIK 20 years ago, and now they have cataracts, or they had RK back in the 80s, or they've had PRK.
What's RK?
RK is radial keratotomy. That was the first refractive surgery, and it turned out to be really a disaster because it kept correcting over and over, so it overcorrected most of these patients.
Oh.
And it also makes it almost impossible to calculate a lens power for them when they come to have cataract surgery. Now it doesn't matter. So most of my post-refractive patients who are really concerned about being able to be free of glasses, that's why they had LASIK. Well, they're the ones that ironically are the hardest to get a good result. If I have a virgin eye that's never had surgery on it, it's much easier for me to get a closer result to perfect than if someone had LASIK or RK or something else where they altered their eye. Then those ironically are the hardest ones to give a good result to. Well, no longer. I've got patients who have had RK. RK, again, awful procedure. Nobody knew. Thank God my ophthalmologist talked me out of it in the 80s because I wanted to get on my glasses. It was miraculous. But anyway,
Thank
those
God,
patients, you know, you can make 4 incisions, you make 8 incisions. Sometimes these patients had 16 incisions in their cornea. It looks like someone cut up a pie. And it's almost impossible to be accurate on those patients. I've got some of those patients seeing better than 20/20. It's remarkable, truly remarkable.
Wow.
Like I said, it's changed my career. It's
Now-
really rejuvenated my career.
So a lens that can be adjusted after it's already inside the eye.
Yeah.
Patients can test drive their vision, come back to you and get it fine-tuned. They have to wait at least 2 weeks to begin that.
Yeah.
And wow, what about you? I mean, this stuff comes along. I don't know who's inventing this stuff and where are they? It's the scientists. Now, when this came out, do you have to go away for a couple of weeks to a continuing education?
No, there's things you have to go through. You have to, you have to show your office is capable of it. You have to, again, it's cataract surgery. So it's not really, I'm doing the same surgery. The lens itself, when you put it in, there's no difference. It's the aftercare. And you have to, it took a lot to get our infrastructure set up. I mean, my office, my staff's been with me,
Yeah.
my just,
You and I have
in
been
fact,
working together for over 25 years. Most of those people have been with you 25
well,
years.
so my one technician, it's her birthday today. We've been together since she's 64 today. I've been with her since she was 38. We've been together for 26 years. The day I started in Vero Beach, I've been working with her. My other one is going to be 26 years this October. Another one's going to be 26 years, I think, in February. My least experienced main group of techs has been with me for 14 years. So my staff knows how to change and how to roll with things. There's a lot of practices, and I would say, to me, anybody who's not doing an adjustable lens, you're not providing the patients with what they really should have, the access to this technology. I think at some point every lens would be adjustable. To me, I don't know what the future holds, but if they can do a lens like this, who knows what the future is going to be? I mean, maybe you can adjust your lens on your phone in the future with an app, or your lens self-adjusts when you're reading versus distance and actually changes shape like a natural lens. And that's the real, once we figure that out, that's game over because you'll give people supervision.
The thing about it slowly changes. So it's not like one big jump. You just figure, well, I'm 72 or whatever age you are, that's my age. I can't see this, I can't see that. I'm just going to have to live with that.
You don't realize what you're not seeing. Most cataract patients tell me afterwards, and a lot of them put it off because they're afraid.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
And that's fine. And I tell people that. I said, look, and they'll say to me after surgery all the time, and I hear this routinely.
Yeah.
If I had known, I would have done this years ago. And I say to them, you know what, you did it when you were ready. And that's all you can only deal with the information in front of you. And you reached a point where your vision, your decrease in vision overcame your fear because you got tired of it. It's like me. I had a neck surgery, right? I put off my neck surgery for 4 years. When it got to the point where it was an emergency, I had no choice. And afterwards, I said, my God, if I had known the pain was going to go away this soon, I would have had it done years ago. Well,
Thank
no,
God
I
you
really
had a
wouldn't
great
have.
surgeon.
Yeah.
One surgeon to another, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
So
God.
I understand the mentality of that.
So glasses can be eliminated?
Not eliminated. I never tell anybody you're going to eliminate glasses, even if they did
Reading?
a bifocal lens. It depends what you want. So if you can, it depends what your brain is able to tolerate. What I tell people is, we will get you as free from glasses as we are capable of based on your brain and what you can tolerate. The more difference between the two eyes you can tolerate, the more ability you'll have to read and see distance. But you lose a certain amount of binocular depth perception.
What's binocular? What does that mean?
Well, with both eyes working together, you have depth perception. You have stereo vision. When we separate the two eyes, a small amount, you can maintain that stereo vision, but add to your intermediate. So say all of a sudden I separated your two eyes. Let's say I corrected you both eyes, absolutely spectacular in the distance. You wouldn't have a lot of you would have no near vision to read, and you really may not have a lot of intermediate vision. So what we typically try to do is to enhance your intermediate, because most people are now reading on their iPad or they can blow up the font on their phone. So we want you to be able to see your phone, look at the dashboard, see your face in the mirror, and also see spectacularly in the distance. if we can achieve that, most people say, you know, if I had to pick up some glasses to read for an hour, which most people, you know, sit and read a book, most people don't do that anyway. But if they did, they don't mind doing that. That's where I ask people, what is your tolerance?
I don't mind reading glasses as long as they're strong.
But I always temper the enthusiasm. I say you're going to get spectacular vision and you're going to get whatever your brain lets you enjoy. So I have patients where we've separated their two eyes and they didn't like it. So we had to put them back together. And at the end of the day, the good news was we could do that, whereas we didn't have to guess and assume and do the surgery and then be stuck in a position where now you got to do something pretty substantial. All we had to do was put them in a slit lamp with a laser light and move the lens to allow both of their eyes to be the same. Literally, in all the time I've been doing light adjustables, which is about 4 years now, I've only had 3 patients out of all the patients that I've taken care of with this lens who wanted both eyes to be exactly the same in the distance. They didn't like even the slightest disparity between the two eyes. They didn't tolerate it. But it was great because they lived with it. They were able to come back and give me feedback, and then we just changed it. I mean, like I said, space age. It's science fiction. It really is. And it's spectacular. I think eventually it'll be an easier process, maybe less costly, so it'll be accessible to more people. But at the end of the day, I would go sell my car to have this done. You know, and I'm going to say this on a podcast, but if I had surgery today, there's not even a chance any other lens is going in my eye. There's not even a chance. If I was doing my mom's cataract surgery today, if light adjustables have been around when my mom had her surgery 8 years ago, I put torics in her eyes. But if light adjustables were available today, why wouldn't I? It gives you the ability.
What's the added expense?
It's substantial. It's over $5,000 per eye.
Per eye?
Yeah.
And that's not covered by Medicare?
That is outside of insurance. But it's a substantial, you know, investment in time. The office. I mean, I've had patients where I've seen them 15 or 20 times for visits. So
what about somebody, let's say some people don't have 10 grand sitting around that they can acquire. Do you have a financial thing?
Sure, there's care credit. There's other things.
Oh, you
that
do
we
have that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because $500 a month goes by pretty quick. In 10 months, the one eye's paid off. Then another 10 months, you got the other eye.
If someone wants it to happen, if someone wants that, we will work with them to make it happen. I want everybody to walk out of my office with what they want. And so, you know.
Who is not a good candidate?
If you have a small pupil, so if you have a really small pupil that doesn't dilate well, so a lot of men on prostate medications, a lot of times their pupils don't dilate very well. So you really, I mean, the FDA
called?
says you really should have a 6 millimeter or larger pupil. I've had some patients with smaller pupils that we've had great adjustments on, but that's a potential contraindication is the pupil too small. If they don't dilate well, you can't get an LAL. The other big one is macular degeneration. So it wouldn't be worth it in someone with advanced macular, but there's also some question because we're using UV light and, you know, giving a pretty good dose of UV light. So someone who's got some macular degeneration, that's kind of a relative contraindication. Doesn't mean you can't do it. If they got a few little early signs of maybe some drusen, which are little yellow spots that may or may not progress to macular, I wouldn't have a hesitation in doing it in that patient. But if anybody with significant amount of macular stuff, you're not going to do it in that patient.
Okay, risks, downsides, people should know before choosing adjustable lenses. Is there
as regular cataract
longer
surgery?
recovery?
No, just the. Again, I tell people there's 2 reasons not to do a light adjustable if they wanted one, or if they were thinking about it, is cost and time, because there's more time associated, more visits coming into my office, and you have to be willing to be patient. And I tell people all the time when they start to get a little, oh God, how many more visits? I said, well, that's going to be up to you. How picky are you going to be? What do you want to change with your vision? But I said, you should look at this as the fun time. This is the fun time. We're in the lab now. We're getting to experiment with your vision. Can you imagine if someone gave you a car and said, go test drive it for a month versus driving it for 5 minutes? You go test drive it for a month, you're going to know, there's a blind spot there I didn't like. Or, that seat after I drove for 2 hours, it felt fine for an hour, but when I drove for 2 hours, my back bothered me. I don't like that. Imagine having that ability to test drive it that way. And that's what you get to do with your vision. We don't rush the process. I've had patients take months to do it. I've had patients have their surgery in the spring before they left because their cataracts were bad. They said, I don't want to wait all summer. They had their surgery with me, and we adjusted them in the fall 4 or 5 months later when they came back.
No problem.
No, they just have to wear special sunglasses outdoors. You have to wear UV blocking sunglasses because if you go spend a time, playing tennis or golf for 8 hours out there with no sunglasses on, the UV light can affect that lens. And so you could alter the molecules in the lens if you're not wearing your glasses properly.
Okay, so cost, we found out it's pretty expensive. Adjustable lenses typically covered by Medicare. No, they're not. Out of pocket, about $5,000 per eye.
Yeah.
Do you see this becoming more affordable over time?
I think it will be. It's got to get easier though, because the strain on the office is tremendous. I mean, like I said,
Why?
because I may see somebody 10 or 15 times.
Oh,
The number of visits, and
yeah.
we roll them in whenever they want to come in. It's concierge medicine, beyond concierge
Wow.
medicine.
Yeah.
So if someone needs to come in at 4 o'clock to get a little adjustment, they spend a lot of time with myself and Dr. Whiting, who's my optometrist who works with me
Yeah.
very closely. So we're constantly bringing in refracting. You know what? You're not ready for treatment today. Come back next week or come back tomorrow. So my schedule is very fluid, and there's days where I have a lot of these patients coming in, and we give them carte blanche. So if I need to see somebody 6 days, 5 days in a row, they're coming in, and that's a big. So a lot of it's cut down on my ability to see other patients because I'm spending a lot of time with these patients.
How
So
long has this been available, these adjustable
I've been
lenses?
using them about 4 years. They were
4
available.
years?
Mhm. They've been available sooner than that, but I am not the first one on the street to jump into something. And they made some real improvements. They put this shield on it, and what happened, it made it less finicky and less light sensitive if you're just outdoors, so you don't have to wear the glasses indoors anymore. When you first came out with light adjustables, you had to wear the glasses from morning till night, and wear them all the time. So it's just become easier, and the technology is just amazing. I actually had a lunch with the CEO of the company at our last national meeting. I actually called him, and I just told him that this was life-changing and practice-changing. And I said, I don't understand. Why is this not, more popular, more? He said, it was interesting. So I gave him some insights and things that, I wanted to give them a lot of feedback, and they've asked me to give them
It's
more
about
feedback.
marketing.
But you know what? To me, and I told him
People need
this.
to know about it.
Well, I think the company should not offer it to all practices, because there's a lot of practices that frankly are not capable of doing it correctly. And you really have to cater to the patient. There's a lot of practices that are they're just interested in volume. They want to do the surgery, and the surgeon doesn't want to spend. You have to spend a lot of time with these patients and really talk to them. And that's the part I enjoy. Getting them to the point where they are just ecstatic with the results. And if I just wanted to do the surgery and not see them again, and there's a lot of practices where the surgeon never sees the patient after they do operating. They do the surgery, they never see the patient again. The patient's going to
Well, people
someone
should
else in
know
the
I've
practice.
known you 25 years. You took care of my mom while she was on the earth, Ben, my family members, me, and we've worked together all that time. And I tell you what, you still live in the same house because your desire has been to build your practice, not to build and to get bigger and bigger and bigger houses or whatever. It's pretty amazing.
I like what I
You
do.
love, well, your wife's a doctor too,
Yeah.
and you both love what you do.
I do.
And now your 2 daughters are going to be doctors.
We'll see. And my oldest is in medical school.
Is
and
that crazy?
I know. She was in the
Your
studio.
dad
We
was
had
a
her
doctor?
here in the studio. My dad was an
Yeah.
oral surgeon. We had Elise and Sienna both in the studio when they were little.
Yeah.
Right after they were born.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I think we had Elise on the show when she was probably 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, we could probably find that somewhere, That's crazy. Well, I want to tell you also, when I went to see you, remember I had dry eye, and then you did this thing with the...
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, boy, I tell you that dry eye, 95% gone.
Yeah,
I mean,
intense
the only
pulse
time
light.
I get a little bitter is if I cry. Sometimes I'll have bitter tears.
Yeah.
But I was having to put drops in all day long. You did that thing. Amazing.
Yeah.
So I just want people to know about that. What is that called, by the way?
IPL. Intense
IPL.
pulse light. Yeah, it's a light
Intense
therapy.
pulse light. I didn't like
You didn't
having
like it
it done.
very
I
much.
kind of jumped in the chair because, like,
It's
what a
stingy.
weenie.
It's a little- yeah,
it's a
it's a
little
little-
stingy. But wow, the results.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm glad I didn't have you do my cataracts years ago because now I can
Yeah.
get these. Is there any part of this we did not broach that you would want to talk about? I think we've covered everything.
No, I think we got it covered. Like I said, it's a game changer. It's truly
Center
space-age
for Advanced
technology.
Eyecare, Dr. Mallon. Are you the only doctor that does this, or do other people in your office?
No, Dr. Vanderwood and Dr. Olstein both are doing real adjustables. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's Center for Advanced Eyecare, 772-299-1404. Yeah, press the 772. What was it again?
299-1404.
That's been your number for like forever. Well, here we are. It's going by pretty quick, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. It's good to see you. So, folks, I'm just astounded. I'm sitting here going, wow. I mean, I didn't know about this. Thank God we set up this interview, and this is perfect for my seniors that are listening to our new broadcast, Senior Information for Healthcare. So thank you
Yeah,
for coming in.
it's
Dr.
amazing.
Mallon, Center for Advanced Eye Care.
Thanks, Rhett.
All right, good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. Hey, you and I getting healthy together.
All right.
That was good.
Got to go to my second career,
Yeah, what are you doing now?
golf, putting.
You
Do a
gonna
lot of
putt
training.
now?
I do a lot of training.
You mean train other people?
Yeah, I do. I work with the pros. I'm training a lot of pros.
Did you see?
I won a national tournament actually in February.
Congratulations.
I was fifth ranked senior in the country after that win.
Who was it when the guy who was like grandfather age, his grandson was on the course? He's way ahead, so he's going to win. Was it Gary Player or or Arnold Palmer? I forget who it was. And he comes and says, "I'm going to let my grandson finish, take the last hole." And he says, "And watch out to the audience. Says, he's going to hit a hole in one." And his grandson hits it, goes over, hits another ball, makes it go like this, and goes right in. Is it like the best day of his life? Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen it. Hang on a
Oh man,
second.
I should send you these things from Facebook.
Pontus, what's up? I'm heading over to the warehouse. I'm just finished an interview right now. You're not? Well, that's just unbelievable. Oh, okay. All right, man. Well, I'll see you then. Yeah, I'll catch up. Did you see what I did on AI? I did the AI thing about I sent you an email about it with what kind of inventory and colors and what they suggested. So, okay, well, we'll review it. I'll look at yours too. Okay, sounds good. Bye.
So when you went and saw this CEO, what did you all agree upon? I said first flew out of my mouth was marketing.
Well,
and what do you say?
I told him that because their stock had taken a turn. He goes, "Don't worry, we're still good." I said, Ron
This is the
Kurtz.
adjustable lenses.
Yeah, I said, Ron, I don't think you should try to appeal to every practice. This is not something. There's a lot of practices that frankly should not have it I think you should make it harder for people to get it. I think you should make it that FOMO. Give people FOMO.
What's that mean?
Fear of missing out.
Oh yeah, FOMO.
It's a very, very powerful thing.
Yeah.
That fear of missing out makes people do a lot of stupid stuff, right? Oh my God, I got to get into that. I got to get into that. That's why Bernie Madoff did it. He had the fear of missing out,
That's
right?
what a car dealer does.
Of course they do.
You came in. I'm not going to buy it for 6 months. Okay, but that Mr. Mustang is last year's. You can save $8,000 on it, but when it goes, it's gone.
Exactly.
Fear of loss. Oh.
Right, there it is. That FOMO is a very compelling thing, and we all have it, right? So I said what I would do if I was in charge of your company is I would pick the best practices that are boutique-y, that give great patient care because they're not going to have patients with bad experiences. You're going to grow your brand. That's what I'm doing with my putter brand. Same thing. We're going to put it in the hands of people. I'm going to turn it into a premium brand like Rolex, and that's what it's going to be.
The
And
Rolex of eye care.
the Rolex, but and that's what we're doing with my putter company, because it's not going to be fine. You don't want it. You're not right for this product. We're going to handpick the practices, and guess what?
They're going to be begging.
You got to
be begging
qualify.
for it. Yeah.
You know what? Your practice doesn't qualify for this. You don't. That's what you tell. You say no to them. What do you mean I can't have it? This lens isn't for you because you don't do this, 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 and this. Our practices, if you want to have our lens in your practice, you got to do this, this, this. You got to meet these metrics. And if you can't meet those metrics,
So
you're
are
not
you
getting our
part of
lens.
this adjustable lens company too? Well, why not?
Well, it's out there. I mean, I may buy some stock in it, but I got 10,000 things I'm involved in. I'm honest to God, I don't need one more. But that's what I told them. I said, that's how I would approach it, because I know you got stockholders that are looking for this and they just all want the volume. I said, you'll grow it the right way. I said, that's how I would approach it. I would not be trying to go to every practice and say, hey, do light adjustables. I'd say, you know what? We're going to evaluate your practice and see if you're reasonable for, no, you know what? I don't think you're going to qualify. We'll come back if you do this, 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 and this, but otherwise we're going to the guy down the street. And pick practices that are high-end practices that will deliver a great product and a great follow-up and great outcomes. And then the sky's the limit for you. But you can't be, I got to be all
Good
things
for
to
you.
all practices.
No.
That's how I would do it. Grow it the right
FOMO.
way. Build the foundation.
Fear of missing out. Fear of loss.
So, yeah. I'm cutting back. I'm in a busy day today, but I'm cutting back at work. I'm cutting back
yeah?
at work. Yeah,
Well, you're 58.
I gotta play a lot more golf. I want to be I want to be one of the best senior golfers in the country. Actually, I want to be number one. That's what I want to do.
Well, one thing, as this thing grows, let it grow, but I wouldn't mind you're a pretty sharp guy. I mean, so you're better than AI, man. AI is amazing,
I love
isn't it?
AI. I do so much. I'll put in, how much you put in is what you get out of it. But like I'm looking at, how many putters do we need to order with all the different colors and what's the recommendation to get us up and stocked and everything. And it's amazing. I mean, you put all this
It's
data
the combined intellect of all these people that created it, right?
It's really incredible. I mean, I use it for, to make a resume or do this or do that. I mean, it's pretty incredible stuff. The Chat GPT is the one I've been using, and I love it.
That's what I use.
I Chat GPT'd my life.
What does that mean?
I put in, it knows all my companies and everything I'm doing. So,
Yep.
because I've all done all these things. So I put in how much money I have in retirement, all the different, my debt, it has all that in there. And then I put in the goals of what I want to do. Golf, competitive golf, other things. It laid out a plan for me, and it was eerie how accurate it was and how good it was and how many things I hadn't thought about. Put it in perspective. You know what it said to me? At your age, you have 3 to 4 year window of competitive golf on a national level. 3 to 4 year window for you to compete nationally. And really, if you want to be serious and you need to do this many hours a week of practice, you need to cut your medical practice by 25% this year and by 25 to 40% next year. You need to practice 15 to 20 hours a week. You need to eliminate some of the other companies and some of the distractions you have. You have 7 companies, you're doing this, that. You need to get rid of that. You need to look at big shots and say that is probably your biggest drain from a probably poorest performing asset that you have. Even though the community loves big shots, it's a disaster.
Big shots is a disaster?
Yeah, it's just
Why?
the cost of running the business. I've been
drains
sued
you.
4 times. I mean,
Sued for what?
oh, you can't even imagine. I don't even get into it. It'll make me mad. My insurance went up from $27,000 to start liability insurance, which was crazy, to $127,000.
Why? Why would people sue you for what? Hurting themselves?
Guy slipped with his foot like this. Someone else is this, barefoot in the concourse when it's wet, falls and breaks their leg. And of course, that's my fault. We should do a podcast on the scumbag attorneys that are feeding and wrecking our country.
Yeah.
That's what we should talk about. I think
Yeah.
there should be a revolt against these slip and fall and injury attorneys because they've wrecked our culture. They really are wrecking our culture. Not just, stealing money from insurance and everything else. Yeah, I've gotten over my anger for it because I couldn't even talk about it. I was so mad when I got sued. This guy literally stood up from the couch. There was a little wet spot on the ground, which he may have done himself, and he went like this with his foot. That's all. Literally went like that.
And,
Sued me for $100,000 and got the money. My insurance
but
settled.
he didn't get hurt?
No. Well, he said he did. He played golf for an hour, drank, and he was a dirtbag. He'd been in jail for all kinds of domestic violence stuff and whatever else. And yeah, so he sued and won. And
Because of what the insurance company said.
the insurance settled.
You got a deductible. We'll pay the $100,000. You pay $50,000. We're out of this. Otherwise, it's going to cost a whole bunch.
No,
of
it wouldn't.
lawyers.
No, here's why they did it.
Why?
The insurance company's part of it. The insurance companies are scammers. So I was paying $27,000 for my liability insurance. They settled this case for $100,000 and raised my insurance to $100,000. So
you
over the
paid for
next
it?
10 years, yeah, of course I paid for it. And over the next 10 years, they now get over $1 million that they wouldn't have gotten. So they paid out $100,000. It's a great investment for them. Let me pay 100. If I said give me $100,000, Rhett, and in 10 years you're going to have $1 million, 10 times multiple on your money. That's the best investment you could ever make in your life, right?
Yeah.
So they have figured out a way. The insurance companies have figured out a way by paying out. They make more money. That benefits them because you actually paid for it, and now they're paying you 10 times more.
Well, why did you keep the same company?
There's only one insurance company I can get in the whole country that insures this kind of golf entertainment. I have no choice. The market is completely, there's no competition.
Can't you sue them?
The
no
adjuster, I don't think I've ever talked to someone like that in my life. The adjuster who settled the case, I ripped her like I have never ripped a human being. I was so angry. And then, I got sued again because someone pulled out of my place and killed a motorcyclist. Had nothing to do with me. They sued me anyway. My insurance settled that one. The attorney who settled that, I said, I don't even know. Did you go into law? Do you feel good about yourself when you go home at night? Because you saw the video. It had nothing to do with me. They said it was an obstructed view pulling out. I got the video on my phone. I can show you. I got the video of the guy slipping with his foot. You literally wouldn't believe it. I'm going to show you because you literally will not believe it. It's made me sick, truthfully. So this guy got killed. He jumped his motorcycle. This girl was sitting at my lace to pull out. She was on her phone. She sat there for like 30 seconds, then pulled out right in front of the guy. He dumped his bike and died. He didn't have a helmet on. And truthfully, if you don't have a helmet on, as far as I'm concerned, you should have all
You always told me
responsibility.
when I didn't wear a helmet.
Yeah.
You said, we have a name for you.
Yeah, you're an organ donor.
Right.
You want to be an organ donor? Great, be an organ donor.
And
Here's
is
this
the
dirt bag.
motorcycle?
No, this is the dirt bag. Watch him right here,
Which guy? The guy standing?
right there. That's it, right there. You got $100,000 for that. Little wet spot on the floor.
Wait a second. How could you possibly win that?
He got $100,000. It wasn't win. They just settled it.
She's smiling, looking at him.
Yeah, he's got and then he proceeds to play golf for an hour and drink and jump over the sofa and do whatever. I've done that 20 times walking into the shower. You've probably done that at your house a million times, and you just go, oh man, oof. Oh yeah, look at that ground, boy. I better sue these guys, right? Oh man, I think I hurt my groin. I think I'm gonna sue people.
Now, how come the video moves? The wind?
We were videoing the camera, the video.
Oh, okay.
He got $100,000 for that. Okay, bullshit. Let me show you this.
Yeah, but the lawyer got what? 50 of it?
About 40, whatever they got. This is the girl who kills the motorcyclist. So she's sitting there.
In her car.
Now look where the head of her car is, okay? She's on the sidewalk with her eyes, okay? Here's the motorcyclist coming.
Mm-hmm. And she pulls right out into him?
So she's sitting there. When this car pulls up behind her, she's like, oh, I better go. Boom. There he goes.
He fell before he hit her.
Yeah, he dumped his bike. He didn't know how to ride a bike.
But he killed?
He died. He had a head injury and he died right there. That was a combination of things. But he didn't need to dump his bike. But he died. And
why do you get sued?
Good question. And
It's
not
not
only
right.
that, this is her view down US 1. Is that obstructed? Is there any obstruction that you can see? They got an expert.
Doesn't make any
They got an
sense.
expert that said that these trees were planted illegally. They couldn't see, so they sued the landscaper, who also got dinged. This is where she was sitting. This is her view of US 1. This is what I'm saying. The system is a scam. I tried to
Why
call
would a
John
judge
Stossel.
approve of that?
It wasn't. No, the insurance company settled. They never got to court. Never even got anywhere past. I was so pissed. I was like, I'm not settling this. You cannot settle this. They settled it anyway. They said, you don't have a choice. We're settling it.
What'd the guy get, or his family?
I don't know, 50,000. I mean, it wasn't even. There was nothing valid. But like I said, I paid for it.
Why
Get another
should
one.
you pay for that?
Well, my insurance is now almost unaffordable. That's why I'm going to close Big Shots because of it.
Oh, you are going to close
At some
it?
point, yeah. I can't. I'm not going to continue to be sued by assholes. First of all, they all signed stuff that says that I'm not responsible for them getting hurt. I had one lady suing me because she was on the mat with her son, teaching him how to swing. He swung the club around, hit her in the mouth, knocked her tooth out. So she sued me. Another lady
Did she
took her
get money?
It's still pending. I got another lady who took off her shoes. She was in flip-flops. It was raining. She took off her shoes, and on the cement with her bare feet, she slipped and broke her leg. So she's suing me. Why is that my fault? You took off your shoes on a wet floor. You know what the attorney said? You shouldn't be open when it's raining. That's his. You shouldn't be open when it's raining. It's too much of a liability. Really? That's when I'm busiest, when it rains. It's an outdoor fucking facility, pardon my French. That's how these attorneys think, though. They can't stand them. Can't stand them.
Well, the Bible says in the end times, they will say that which is good is evil, and that which is evil is good.
Well, we're coming to
We're
end
there.
times then. We are coming to end times.
Well, look, it also says, when all eyes are on Israel, the end is near.
It is, because the anti-Semitism that's going on right now.
What is that all about?
I don't go anywhere without my gun.
Where did that come from? Where did
My
that come
kids,
from?
I mean, at school, my kids had the worst time. Elise had the worst
I go to
time.
the temple. I go to different temples. I've been to a couple temples this year, and they always have police there. I mean, they have the guys with
You have
the guns.
to. Have to. I will never go into a place without a gun on me right now.
You know what we have right now? Maybe I need to get mine going. Barbara bought that orange thing, and you can take it anywhere, any state, any plane, anything.
Yeah,
It has those silver things in it.
I just carry my gun. I don't go into
What do you have? What
I have
kind
a
of
well, I have a Glock that I carry, a small one, but I got H&K. I got all
You got
kinds
a
of
what?
guns. H&K P30,
I
9
don't know what
millimeter.
that is.
So you're not going.
Shouldn't I have a gun too? Really? I mean, isn't it amazing that over 32 years I've been on the air, You know that. You know.
I'd have a gun sitting right there. Absolutely. Yeah. You never know when some whack job's going to walk in here, and I'm not going to be a victim of somebody. They will be very surprised if they come after me.
This guy from South Africa, his grandfather had a guy working for him, this black guy. He fired him. The guy comes back and just shoots his grandfather.
Yeah.
Dead.
That's my new discs in my neck.
Your new disc? Somebody's calling me.
Oh, that's Mark Engelman. I got to grab that. I got to go, buddy.